Hey, Pumpers, today we're talking with Isaac McCorkle from Coal Creek Septic in Central Illinois. Going to run through why and how he got into septic, what he does differently, some of the modern tools he uses, like a CRM and website, to make his job more productive, and what he does different to keep customers happy, how he overcomes price objectives, and a secret hidden weapon he has to get new customers on the cheap. Let's jump into it. My thanks to Isaac, and hope you enjoy. All right, so it's Tank Bros. We're here with Isaac McCorkle from Coal Creek in Central Illinois, and we're just having a conversation about life and septic work. And Isaac, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Brad?
I am hanging in there, freezing my butt off this morning, but doing okay overall.
Yeah, it's 9 degrees here.
So. Yeah, it's about the same in Ohio. Luckily, you and I are both safe and warm in our offices, which is good for right now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you and I were just talking kind of before we kicked it off here about Coal Creek and your background and history and stuff. And I know there's a lot of pearls of wisdom in there, man. Maybe you could recap kind of what we were just talking about, and just talking about how you kind of got into septic and what drove you there, and the importance of focusing on what we do with our business, right?
Yeah.
I hate to ask for a recap, but maybe you could kind of touch on that again.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of give like a short version story of my life. Started doing construction when I was 14 for a home builder, and then when I was 18, ended up joining the Marine Corps. While I was in the Marine Corps, I was a diesel tech, heavy equipment, the big trucks. That's kind of what I saw myself doing my whole life. And then did 4 years in the Marine Corps, got out. I was still a diesel tech after that, and kind of was job hopping, and wasn't really satisfied with any job. And then started out with a excavating company after, the diesel technician, being a diesel tech, and we were doing what his niche was field tile, and then we did a lot of land clearing, excavating work, so on and so forth. But I don't know, I loved the work, but as far as like the boss aspect, I finally realized that's kind of where I was in life, why I didn't really have any satisfaction with any of the jobs I had. So I decided to make my life very challenging and start my own business.
So. There you go. And the rest is history, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Right. Yeah. Nice. All right. What kind of brought you to bringing Coal Creek to where it is today, focusing on septic? Because you had mentioned to me before, you kind of you focused on septic, right? You traded in some excavators for the vac truck and said, we're really not going to do ponds and gravel driveways anymore. We're going to focus on this niche. So what was that process like? What was the thought process there?
Yeah. So in 2021 was when I started. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was renting a bunch of equipment, many excavators, skid steers, and then 2022, still doing the same thing. Like if you called me and you needed a water line repaired or a gravel driveway installed, anything with a mini excavator skid steer, I was your guy. And then 2023, well, let me backtrack a little bit. 2022 is when Sam and I started working together. He was actually a competitor. He started his business right before I did. And so we were working together, and then 2023 is when we actually teamed up and started Coal Creek Excavating and Septic. And we bought some big iron D6N, a Volvo ECR 235. We had a mini excavator, a skid steer, dump truck. That wasn't all bought at once. It was kind of throughout 2023 is when we bought that. But yeah, we were doing ponds, gravel drives, a lot of septic work, and we were at the end of 2023, and we were getting pretty well burnt out on everything, just because it's hard to do everything. And I had not necessarily a mentor, but a guy that I would kind of like throw ideas off of. And he's like, dude, there's riches in the niches. So we decided to hone in on septic work, because there was an opening in the market for sure, around here in central Illinois. And that's what we did. So we sold our big iron, kept the little iron, skid steer, mini excavator. We kind of a midi excavator is what we have, capable of doing a lot of things. But and then that's when we bought the pump truck, was 2024, and the rest is history. So
well, there's a lot of wisdom there. I think the riches really are in the niches, and I think you're kind of seeing that play out right now in your business, which is good.
Yeah.
So you really honed down. Is that what makes Coal Creek like different and unique in your market? Like, what sets you apart from your competition in the area?
We answer the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. There's really no like set. There is set septic companies, like that's all they do. But we're really the only company, to answer your question, we're really the only company in our general vicinity that does only septic work as far as pumping and installs, repairs, maintenance plans, all that good stuff. So
Gotcha.
you know, most of the guys are doing what I just explained, like what I was doing. A lot of them are one-man bands, and which there's nothing wrong with that by any means, but that's just not the way we want to go in life, not the vision we have. So
And I think your first comment is really important, the fact that you answer the phone. And that's something that's overlooked a lot, I think, in the service industry, is the importance of customer service and just being there. And that speed to lead, as we call it in the marketing side, right? Like if a customer calls me, I have 5 minutes to get back to them, or else there's a good chance I'm going to lose that person. So the fact that you can do that and be quick to respond, it is going to lead to success, and it's going to help you guys out, and will easily differentiate you from the other guys that are out there. And that kind of leads into what you and I have talked about before, which is, you know, Coal Creek has made a decision to focus on your digital presence and on technology and things like that. What have you guys done differently, do you think, than other people in the space from a technology, from a digital marketing perspective? What are you doing different than others?
Yeah, just to backtrack on that answering the phone comment, that was kind of just a joke, but it's, you know, if you're answering the phone, it's just it's so easy, because we get calls all the time, like, oh, so and so won't answer their phone, or, you know, we can't get a hold of them, or they took a whole month to get back with us. And, you know, like, the way I look at it, you're in business to serve the customer. It's not about you, it's about the customer. So
yeah, that's when you told me that a long time ago. That always stuck with me. You're like, it's not about me as the owner of Coal Creek, it's about the customer. And that is so smart. And I think it's just forgotten by a lot of folks. They internalize, they focus here, not out there. So
yeah,
good for you. Yeah,
sure. As far as like technology, we use a CRM. So that's kind of like one of our advantages. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of one-man bands, and nothing against that by any means. But I don't know, they're still using like paper receipts and all that stuff, and that I don't know, that's just not us. So we use a CRM called Jobber. It does all our invoicing for us, scheduling, quotes, requests. And we actually have that linked to our Google business profile online, and our website as well. And I don't know, another kind of cool thing we do is we have all our pricing online. So like all our septic pumping pricing is dialed in. we kind of have a chart online. If you know your tank size, you know exactly how much you're going to be charged. And that's, there's also all of our extras included on that, like tank location, riser installations. Our maintenance plans are on there as well. And all that.
You cover kind of the gotchas, like you cover on there, if your tank is buried, it's going to be extra. If it's, you talk about that on the website then, so the customer knows what to expect in any situation.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah. So yeah, like going back to that, like most of the time, not most of the time, but a lot of the times, like a customer doesn't know where their tank's at. So we have to do, we have flushable transmitters, a camera, locator, all that good stuff. So
Right.
we can locate their tank, but all that's on the website, and it's clear as day how much we charge. And we don't really do anything by the hour, so it's easy for us. It's all flat rate fees. So it's all pretty well detailed on there.
Well, going back to what you said a little bit ago, it's obvious the septic space, there's a lot of old timers, a lot of old mentality with how to run their business. So what's a piece of advice you would give to, someone's been doing it for a year or 40 years? Like, if you could tell them one piece of advice, what you've done, what would you tell them to do?
For the old timers?
Just for whoever in general. Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, what's your big takeaway? That's the best, like the biggest needle dial mover, I guess, that you'd say, go do this, and you're gonna make your life easier, your business is better. Like, what's been the biggest game changer for you guys?
Yeah. I'll give everybody in on a little trick, little secret that we had. We figured out last year. The Google local service ads. That's what made our pump truck what it is nowadays. For those that don't know what a Google local service ad is, Google LSAs, it's kind of the top thing you see. Like, if you search in your area for a plumber, they would show up, and it's a Google guaranteed ad. And I don't know what it is throughout the U.S., but we're actually one of two companies that run them around here. And our cost per lead is, I don't know, it's just throwaway money. It's $7 per lead. So acquiring a customer $7 is dirt cheap, if you ask me.
So especially consider the life.
What's
that? Go ahead. Sorry. I was going to say, especially when you consider the lifetime value of that customer, for $7, you get a job. But now, because of the tools that you've rolled into your company, you can keep in touch with them. You can keep them coming back, and you can keep servicing them and making money off that $7 for the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. But that's kind of why we implemented our maintenance plans. Even on conventional systems, customers are interested in it. I'd imagine it's all the same throughout the U.S. Like, if you have a powered unit, an ATU, aeration unit, those suckers need service every 6 months, or they will crap out on you. So, but yeah, we've that's kind of how we retain customers. And then I don't know, whenever we do a job, septic pump, anything under 2,000 and under, we send out handwritten thank you cards. That's what my business partner's wife does. That's just like cheap stuff you can do. And then 2,000 and over septic installs, repairs, or a hefty pump and bill, we'll send out like a thank you basket. And then she does all that as well too. So
yeah, that's great. And just one extra way to touch that customer again and make them feel valued and to ingratiate them to you guys. So that's a good investment.
Yeah.
So what about, all right, we kind of talked like in general your advice. So what about to the folks in the group that are just starting out, that are exploring septic, want to get into it, think it's something worth exploring? What's your thoughts and advice to those guys?
don't go out and buy brand new equipment and get in a bunch of debt. That would be my advice. And also, I would also say comparison is the thief of all joy. And that kind of hits hard with me because I tend to compare myself to companies who have been in business for 10, 20, 30 years. And we've been in business for 3 years now, and we're not at that level because success takes time.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's good advice. Business, to your point, is as much a physical game as is a mental game, right? And
Yep.
either one of those things can crack you if you let them, and it's important to keep them both in check.
Yep. Kind of caveat off that, I would say more advice. I would say get to know your numbers as well. Don't worry about what other people are charging. Worry about what you need to charge and figure out your profit margins.
Mm-hmm. Do you find, to that point, that kind of going above and beyond in terms of your service levels, your customer service, your interaction with the customer, your thank yous, your follow-ups, does that help overcome the tire kicker, price checker kind of customer? Do you just not worry about those kind of folks? Because that seems to be a common thread, is, everyone's competing on price. How do you run it? How do you deal with that when you run into it?
Oh, that's a loaded question. We're kind of getting to the point where, we have tire kickers all day long, and we've implemented that in our sales process, going over pricing over the phone rather than wasting all your time going out to the site and then getting ghosted after because your price is too high for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of one of the things that I do. I pick their brain, figure out what they want over the phone prior to going out to the job site and meeting with them, and all that. So
Makes sense. It's very efficient. You know what
figure
you're
a lot.
like.
Yeah, basically what I'm getting at is you can figure out a lot over the phone. Waste your time in the office, not waste your time in the office because you're not doing that, but rather take your time here rather than going out to the field and having hours upon hours and then having a customer ghost you. So
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Yep.
What else should people know? What didn't I ask that you want to get off your chest?
I don't know. I kind of like, for someone starting out or someone that's been in business for a while, I would, if you don't know about them, going back to the Google local service ads, I would definitely take a look at those, and use them, because our cost per lead around here is ridiculously cheap. So
Okay.
and know your
Isaac
numbers.
McCorkle.
Know your numbers.
What's that? Yeah,
Know your numbers.
All right. So
Yeah.
Google LSA, know your numbers. Yeah. Isaac
Yeah.
McCorkle, Coal Creek Excavating and Septic. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yep. Thanks, Brian.